Hi, Bob here. Today I'm going to share with you some exercises that are going to help your digestive system work better. And if you have constipation or diarrhea, hopefully it'll eliminate that. You just have to do these things regularly and everything should be okay. Pull one knee into your chest at a time and hold for 10 seconds, and then alternate. Finish the exercise with both legs into the chest as far as you can, and hold for 10 seconds. Lift your hips as high as you can, forming a straight line from the knee through the hip to the shoulder. Arms way out behind your head. Hold the bridge for 10 seconds, rest, and then repeat. Both legs should have a 90 degrees at the ankle joint and at the knee joint. Then there are 3 positions to take your body through. Hold each position for 10 seconds. Switch sides. There are 2 positions in the cow-cat. Begin in a neutral table position with your hands below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Sink your belly to the floor and look up. And then switch from sucking your belly in and looking down. Move slowly between the cow and the cat. Repeat as many times as you like. It's all good for your low back and your hips, which are both important to a healthy bowel movement. The resting child Cobra exercise begins in a neutral table position, but your knees are farther apart and your arms are straight and hands way out in front. Stack your toes on top of one another and push your hips way back into your heels. And then slide your forearms forward, put your belly on the mat, and lift your head up and arch, keeping in mind that that belly button sticks to the floor. Hold for 10 seconds and move slowly in between the child. Get the hips lower if you can, right onto your heels. And then into the modified version of the Cobra, resting on the forearms. Do as many as you like. The ab twist requires a healthy, strong back. So if you're not sure about the state of your back's health, you might want to leave this exercise out. But it's done various ways. For example, one leg over top of the other, twisting one way, twisting the other. The happy baby likes to have the legs high above the hips, wide apart with the arms pushing out and the legs resisting. You might want to reach above and grab the bottom of your feet, pull down, and pull the legs apart. To do the crunch properly, you have to put your hands behind your head and lift your head straight up, keeping your chin off your chest. One leg over top of the other above the knee, and lift the legs and pull them toward your head. Don't forget to do the other side. The toe touch requires you to sit up straight, keep your legs as straight and stiff as possible, and lean forward at the hips and touch your toes and hold. As you've probably figured out by now, your pelvic floor, which is between your legs, not your bum muscles, not your hip muscles, but the muscles deep inside your body at the bottom of your pelvis. Those are your pelvic floor muscles. And if you could imagine a hammock connected to the bone at the front and the bone at the back and the bone at the side and the bone at the other side, like two hammocks like this, holding all of your organs and your intestines, of course. And that's your pelvic floor cradle, and the muscles in that cradle are your pelvic floor muscles. And the exercise, the pelvic floor squeeze, requires a towel, so fold it in half again, and roll it. Put it on your chair this way, and sit on it so that your glute muscles, your bum muscles, are on either side, and you're sitting right on your pelvic floor muscles. So those Kegel muscles that are connected to your urethra, which is the tube from your bladder to the outside of your body to get rid of the urine. The Kegel muscles are part of your pelvic floor muscles. And then the muscles in your anus around your bum are pelvic floor muscles. And there are others, but they're all part of that cradle. So if you sit here and don't squeeze your bum, don't squeeze your ab muscles, just squeeze the muscles in your pelvic floor. Squeeze them. It's like you're peeing and you don't want to pee your pants, so you squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. Or you've got gas and you want to fart, but you're sitting next to the queen and you don't want to fart, so you squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. Pelvic floor squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. No one can tell, squeeze, that I'm doing it, relax. No one but you. So what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze the pelvic cradle muscles, the pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze them and hold the squeeze. Just breathe normally, or if you want to deep breathe, go ahead. It's been about 10 seconds. Relax. When you're ready, squeeze again. Just hold it. Keep the squeeze. Remember, your bum is relaxed. Squeeze the pelvic. It's been about 20 seconds. Relax. One more time. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. So yes, they're all part of having a bowel movement and the stool moving through your large intestines and coming past the sigmoid colon and down and out. And relax. So maybe when you're waiting in line at the bank, you could practice your squeeze, your pelvic floor squeeze. Maybe when you're doing the dishes, watching TV, you can be sitting. Standing, as long as you're not squeezing your bum muscles. Those are not your pelvic floor muscles. The stool is stored in the sigmoid colon on the lower left side of your abdomen, which is about a foot long. It stays there until you're ready to have a bowel movement. When you're ready, your brain tells the external sphincter muscle between the rectum and the sigmoid colon to relax, and out comes the poop. The stool, or the food that you're trying to eliminate through a bowel movement, leaves the small intestine down here on the lower right. It comes up through the large intestine to just below the ribs, goes across, and then down the left side to the sigmoid colon. And then on a little bit of an angle, it does a little bit of an S-turn and goes down and out. Right where it does the S-turn between the sigmoid colon and the anal canal, you have a sphincter muscle. And when your brain says, okay, it's time to let the poop out, the muscle relaxes, and in this storage compartment here, the sigmoid colon, all of the stool passes out your anus. The sphincter muscle, the external sphincter muscle here, better be in good shape. That's the first thing, and it'll be in good shape if you do all the exercises and you drink a lot of water. Maybe a little magnesium might help as you age. All right, so remember, when you massage, you can take your fist, place it on the lower right side of your abdomen, and push up just to below your ribs, and push across and down that side, and then on a little bit of an angle and out. If you can get somebody else to do it, pushing up, across, down, and on an angle out. And also, right where the sigmoid and the sphincter and the colon down there at the bottom meet, there's a little bit of an S curve. And if your knees are higher than your hips when you're sitting on the toilet with the feet on that stool, this will straighten out a little bit, this S curve, and it'll make it easier for the stool to pass out of your body. So the massage can be done anytime you want. If you have any kind of gas in there or any kind of pain, you might want to try doing that to relieve it all. You're just helping the stool move through the large intestine and out of your body. Welcome to my bathroom. I'm going to share with you some exercises that will hopefully make constipation in your life non-existent or a lot easier to have a bowel movement. And I'm sitting on the can or the throne, and I'm sitting in my best posture possible, which means I'm doing a little bit of a pelvic tilt with my hips. I'm pushing them forward a little bit, which straightens up my torso, brings my chest area up a little bit when I do that pelvic tilt. And my shoulders are down, back, and relaxed. My head is in neutral. Someone's pulling the top of my head straight up. And I'm taking my chin and pushing it into the back of my neck. My feet are shoulder width apart. You can't see my feet, but they're flat on the floor. My toes are pointing straight ahead. And I'm sitting here, and before I begin some of the really, really cool exercises for a bathroom, I'm going to take some deep breaths. So I'm going to breathe in through my nose, blow out through my mouth. And as I breathe in through my nose, my abdomen will get bigger because my lungs are going to expand, and my diaphragm is going to help by pushing these organs, these intestines especially, down. Okay, so here I go, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, you want to feel that tummy come out. Let's breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. When I blow out through my mouth, I can pull my belly button in, or I can just let my abdomen gradually sink in toward my spine. But let's try it again. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose one more time, and out through the mouth. Good. So now, exercise number 2, we're going to lean forward a little bit. We're going to take our arms and place the forearms on our quads and push with our forearms on our thighs here a little bit and push our legs apart. But resist with the knees and resist with the legs, the lower legs, and just push the hips apart and relax. So we're going to do that for 3, 2, 1, and then relax. So I bend over, put my forearms on my quads on the inside a little bit there, and then with my arms, my forearms, I'm going to push my legs apart but resist at the same time. So we push in 3, 2, 1, relax. So since that pushing is the hard part, that's when I'm going to be blowing out. So I'm going to take a deep breath in. Sit up again, deep breath in. Right, try to make that blowing out last as long as possible. Nice posture, deep breath in. That's very important, that exercise, because in order for your bowels to work properly down here in your rectal canal and get that food that you don't really need because it has no more nutrients in it and you want to get rid of it, we want it out of the body very easily. So I want to keep my hips really flexible. I want to be able to get my legs apart like that if I need them apart when I'm having a bowel movement. All right, so that one more time just so you know what to do. Deep breath in. Push apart, but resist at the same time. That'll strengthen your hip flexors, all the muscles in your hip area. Okay? All right, the next exercise, really, really interesting here. We're going to try to expand our abdomen and our waist by just sort of, not necessarily with the breath, but just sort of pushing this area out with our brain-body connection and push our thighs or our hips or the sides of our body out too. There, I'm doing it. And relax. So I'm going to take a deep breath in and push everything. So I'm kind of pushing my belly out while I'm blowing out, which normally I would suck my belly button in. But no, I'm just going to take a deep breath in and then push my belly out and my hips and my thighs and everything down in that area out. Because your sphincter, your external lower sphincter muscle, in your rectal area, down at the bottom there, just before your sphincter opens up and lets the waste come out, right? If you bear down, if you push down when you're having a bowel movement, it'll close the sphincter up. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it nice and flexible and keep it open when you're eliminating the waste. So you want to have the pressure in the abdomen coming out and the sides of your body going out. So one more time, I'm going to take a deep breath in. And then I'm going to push this out, which is the opposite to normally what you would do, and push this out. If you can't coordinate the breath, just concentrate with your brain and your body here and push this out and push this out, not down. You got that? Let me just try it without the breath. I'll just breathe normally and push this out, push this out. That's it. There we go. That opens up the sphincter muscle as opposed to pushing everything down with your brain and your muscles, which would close your sphincter muscle. The next thing you need to know is that when you're sitting on your toilet, and everybody has a different toilet in terms of the height of the seat, and everybody's body's different in terms of the length of your legs. So when you're sitting here having this bowel movement, because your large intestines, as it comes down, just before it goes to the sphincter opening, it curls up a little bit and then goes out. So a little bit of a S shape there. And if your waste inside there, if your poop is very, very dry, because whatever you ate caused this food to move through your large intestines very slowly, while every muscle in that intestine is sucking out all the moisture. So it's getting really, really dry. By the time it gets down into your final rectal canal down here, and it's trying to go around the curve, it can't. So the best thing to do for that is get yourself a little stool. You can get them anywhere, dollar store, anywhere. They're very cheap. And put it right below the center of your toilet and put your feet on it. And I like to put my feet on the sides of it. Now my knees are higher than my hips, which should straighten out the curve a little bit. So it's more of a straight down and out as opposed to up and around and down and out. Good. You got your feet up here like this? Good. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Push out here and push out here, and this will automatically go out. So let me try that again. Deep breath in. Lean forward. As I'm blowing out, everything is still being pushed out. A little bit of a contradiction there. If you don't want to do the breath, just breathe normal, lean forward, push your hips apart, and push your belly out and the sides of your body out, your hips there. Push them out. Good. And then it should nicely leave your body. If you want to make sure that the stool or the poop isn't too dry, you want to drink lots of water all day long. I mean, at least 8 cups. Okay? That might be a challenge for you. It's a challenge for me, but drink lots of water all day long. You might want to have a lot of fiber in your diet, in the fruits and vegetables that you eat, right? So that water will stay with the poop longer, so that when it gets to the curve or it gets to the lower sphincter, external sphincter muscle, it will come out easily. You don't want that poop to be too dry. And you might want to take some magnesium I think it's bisglycinate. Yeah, magnesium bisglycinate. You might want to talk to the pharmacist or your doctor about that. But if you're having any trouble with constipation, you might want to take more magnesium pills, which adds water to your lower intestines there, which makes the bowel movement easier. Okay? Another idea that I'd like to share with you when it comes to bowel movements is that stress has a lot to do with the amount of water in your intestines, the amount of water or moisture in your stool, whether or not you can get your muscles working properly. Stress is really, really a significant player in all that. So what I like to do is I like to keep a collection of picture books. I've got this one about the chameleon. Picture books are books for kids and books for all ages, and especially seniors. And they have lots of pictures, not too many words, they're not very long, and they make you happy, most of them. I wouldn't probably want to read too many picture books when I'm trying to relieve stress, as well as myself, in terms of a bowel movement. I wouldn't want to read too many that were kind of negative. So I like the happy ones. So I've got this one here in my bathroom, another one here about Noah's Ark, which doesn't have any words at all, so I can make up the story as I'm looking at the pictures, and it even won a medal for its illustrations. But the one I want to share with you now is called The Precious Pearl. It's not very long, so I'm sitting here, I'm trying to relax so that my bowel movement will be very successful. And I got my feet up on my little stool here, and I'm just waiting for all the action to happen, so why not read a book? So The Precious Pearl. And I just love this story. It goes kind of like this. Here's a man who buys and sells things. He's called a merchant. He has a fine fur coat and a felt hat and a floppy feather in his hat. And this is his favorite hat. And there he is, the merchant. Right. And lots of money too, I think. Because he lives in a house that's huge. It has 5 floors and a fish pond with a fountain in front of the garden. There's his house. Right. This guy's well off. The merchant has everything he wants. He has 15 rooms filled with furniture. Don't forget he's got that favorite hat with the feather in it. 15 rooms. Boy, it'd be a lot cleaning. He has 4 freezers full of food. That's an alliteration. 4 freezers full of food. And 3 fridges with fuzzy drinks. 3 fridges and 3 fridges? Yeah, he's got 3 fridges with fuzzy drinks and 4 freezers. And there is more money under his mattress too than you could ever imagine. Much more. Yes, the merchant has everything he wants. There's the money that he's sleeping on. I think I'm almost ready to go here. One day, in a shop window, he sees something very special. It's a white pearl. He's looking at it. A white pearl. See it there? Holy cats. $500,000, says the man in the shop. If you want to buy the white pearl, it's $500,000. Well, not quite ready yet. It's even more money than the merchant has under his mattress, but he wants that pearl more than anything in the world. He's looking, what can I do to get that pearl? 500,000, that's $500,000. He hurries home, he has a plan. He sells his furniture, his fridges, his freezers full of food. He sells his house, his fountain, and his fish pond. Everything's for sale. What a garage sale that'll be, right? Holy cats, I bet he's desperate. He'd probably even take less than what the stuff is worth. He sells his fine fur coat, but the felt hat with the feather, the floppy feather, he keeps that. That's his favorite. At least he's got some underwear on too. I wonder if he's got enough money. He borrows a barrow, like a wheelbarrow, and bundles up the money. Off to the shop he trundles to buy the pearl. I'm forgetting about having the bowel movement. I'm having so much fun. Oh dear, he's still $6 short. Sell me your hat for $6, says the man in the shop, and then you'll have enough money to buy the pearl. The merchant laughs and he hands the man his hat and he takes the pearl reluctantly. No, he didn't want to give up that hat, but he wanted that pearl. Hooray! The pearl is last his. You know, he thinks about this. God is kind of like this merchant's pearl. It costs everything you could possibly have to get it, but it's worth it more than anything in the world. So he got the pearl, but he had to give up everything else that he had, but he's still happy. He said God thinks that that's the way things go in life. And you know what? I think it's true. I think we should reevaluate what's important to us. It could be just the simple things in life. Maybe the pearl is just kindness, nature, health, being able to have a enjoyable bowel movement, if there is such a thing. I think I have to sign off now because it's time. I'm going to